The Sephora spring sale is dangerous for our wallets, or is it? With what feels like every single product that hits the market hits virality, it feels like, okay, is anything actually worth it? Or is this all just paid for hype? And as someone who gets no PR whatsoever, I'm not sure if that's a bragging point, but the point is, I have bought all of this with my own money. I have brought together all of the products that I have tried and tested over 2025 that went crazy viral that I think are either worth it or not. I'm about to influence you or de influence you from an actual true consumer's perspective and not anybody that's gotten anything in PR or is in TikTok or in anything like that. Are these products actually good? Would I actually recommend getting them with a discount? The way this is going to work is I'm going to go through a full face through all the steps, and I will have timestamps down below, and then I will rate everything in each category, whether I think it's worth it or whether I think it's hype. That's what we're about to do today, and without further ado, let's get on into it. The first category is primers. The first one I'm going to talk about is the One Size B12 base thinner, and I got to admit to you, I freaking love this stuff. As somebody with dry skin, this has the most beautiful pearl-like reflex to it, and it just makes anything truly so stunning. Not only that, it really does feel so hydrating on the skin. I love what he put into this. And I have used it with so many of my foundations that are really heavy coverage, and I love the finish they give, but I just don't like the way they feel on my skin. I will reach for this. This is beautiful chef's kiss. Like I said, you can kind of get two foundations in one. I used this with his base thinner. I used it with the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation, which is a beautiful foundation, by the way. Gorgeous. One of my all-time favorites if you want something that's super blurring and mattifying. I actually think this is a fantastic product. I will say I had so much trouble coming, not trouble, but I really thought, oh, you know what I would recommend instead? This drugstore product. So if you want, I can do a video like that in the upcoming weeks where I kind of give you my recommendations, or I can also give you a drugstore alternative because frankly, a lot of my favorite makeup this year has been drugstore, but we're getting off the rails. So get the train back on the rails. We're doing Sephora sale today. So anyway, honestly, I think this is lovely. If you want something like this in your life, you think this would be utilized and you would need it, this is 100 out of 10. It definitely does what it says it does. And I think it's really useful, therefore. The next product I got, this is the Merit Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. It's got a lot of really wonderful skincare benefits in it. It feels incredible. And like I said, I have dry skin, so anything that can give me some extra hydration is really nice. I will say this is incredible. It is a 10 out of 10. However, if this is like the only thing that you really want to use for your makeup, then I think it's worth it. I have no complaints about the formula, absolutely zero. I wouldn't like drag somebody to get it unless they said, hey, I really need something that's a moisturizer and a primer and I just don't want to overthink prepping my skin. I would recommend this. However, I'm just not going to take you by the hand and drag you into Sephora and say you need to get this. It's just not what comes first to my mind because it's beautiful and hydrating. But I just think if you've got your CeraVe moisturizer and that works for you, then you just don't need this. So I'm going to say I'm going to de-influence you on this because there's nothing wrong with it, but is a really nice moisturizer at the end of the day. And that's just not where I think the uniqueness is and where I would like to spend my extra bucks on something that my drugstore moisturizer can do just fine. Speaking of moisturizers though that I think really is a unique consistency that is super viral is the Rhode Glazing Milk. I do think this is worth the hype because yeah, guess what's something else that you can mix into your foundations that's going to thin them out? We're having our lawn mowed. The consistency is like a marshmallow that's been put into a serum formulation. It's kind of thick, but then it's kind of thin. I really do think as much as there are so many other milky toners that I do use, this one is my absolute favorite. I just think there is something quite unique about this. It doesn't have any fragrance to it. It's just beautiful. It mixes so well with your foundations. It goes on beautifully before makeup. I think this is really thin enough even for oily skin. I think you would really enjoy it because oily skin still needs moisture as well. I do think this is worth it. And it's not going to break the bank as far as really high-end moisturizers go. I think this is a great pickup, totally. The last one I have for you that went super viral this year is the Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. This is definitely worth it because of how unique it is. I don't think you're going to find this anywhere else. This blurs the skin and hydrates the skin and is an incredibly thin consistency and doesn't feel like silicone, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna get tacky. This is such a unique product when everything else is either a grippy primer or it's a blurring primer with silicone in it, or it just is like so much hydration that everything's gonna slip and slide around. This is such a unique formula. It's what I have on today under my foundation, and it feels sort of like nothing. It settles into the skin so nicely. It feels like a skincare product. This is beautiful to wear on its own, even without makeup. And so, for all of those reasons, this is one of those things that I don't have a drugstore alternative for, which makes it worth it to me, especially if you can get it on sale. For complexion, I have a couple to talk about that are super viral. So the first one I'm going to mention is the Dior Forever. This is the Skin Perfector, and I have mine in the shade 1N. Unfortunately, this is just as good as everyone says. It went super viral because Hailey Bieber ended up using her Rhode Glazing milk and mixing it in with this. This is one of the most beautiful stick foundations out there. Dior, in my opinion, I love almost every single complexion product from them that I've tried. So I tend to really like their formulas and their products. But I will say, this is up to you. I think it's beautiful. I think it's as beautiful as everyone says. But in my opinion, if you were just really looking for the most perfect stick foundation at Sephora and you really wanted to get that one on sale, I don't think you will regret it. However, I do think you can find another formulation that I think is probably just as good. Or if you want a liquid foundation, there is another one that is a little bit more expensive, is a little bit less expensive, and something that I think is well worth it. So that one is sort of like an up to you. If you think it's worth it to you, I think it's a beautiful product and you will not go wrong. But there are definitely other complexion products that are cheaper that you will get just as beautiful as a complexion as with that stick. And the one I am about to mention is the Sephora Reveal the Real Soft Radiant Skin Tint. This is stunning. This is lovely for the wintertime when you don't want to wear something too much, or in the summer when you just want something that has coverage but it's not too much. And everything that's Sephora in-house is going to be 30% off for the sale. That means that this is like 16 bucks. This is so good. It is so hydrating without being too slippery. It just sits really nicely on the skin. I would say the one thing about it is it does not have the longest longevity. That's my only complaint, but does it sit really beautifully? It plays well with others, and for $16 at Sephora, can you go wrong with this? Absolutely not. But if you want to know what the difference is between something that's incredibly high end and something that's about $16, you're probably looking at the longevity or how well it plays with others. I'd say the longevity is the only thing that would make this not a 10 out of 10, but seriously, such a good pickup, especially if you're looking for something under 20 bucks that's going to be so worth it. This is absolutely one of them. Okay, my last two more recent foundations that went super viral. Charlotte Tilbury reformulated her Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Look at this bottle, y'all. It is so stunning. I love her packaging. It's gorgeous. When I tell you I reached for this so much the last coming months, when it was basically the only thing I was wearing, period, for months. And so that's how I know I really like it, because I just felt like I could thin out the coverage. I would use either the base thinner or the glazing milk quite often, and I would thin this out on those days where I didn't want as much coverage, but I wanted the finish and the longevity, because that's where this product shines. Or some days I really had a lot of acne and I really wanted to cover up the acne, and this gave me, I'm having a good skin day while still covering up my acne. It is full coverage. It is for a 2016 beat if you wear it on its own, but it's very versatile. And I'm telling you, this wears now longer than almost any other one of my foundations that I can think of. It is budge proof. It is crease proof, and that's why I love it so much. So if you're looking for something like that that has those type of qualities, this is absolutely the foundation I would point you towards. Last but not least, for the viral foundations of 2025, I've got the Makeup by Mario new Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. I loved this so much more than I thought I was going to, which is unfortunate, because I'm just loving everything apparently. But this is so much lighter weight than his original foundation, and it has the most beautiful, just It's just lightweight. It glides onto the skin. It's almost like a skin tint that's in foundation form. It has just like the most buttery, lightweight, almost watery formula for a foundation, which means it just feels like there's nothing on your skin. And it gives you such a gorgeous sort of, I wouldn't even say almost satin finish. When it settles in and it dries down, it just sort of looks like your skin, but better. And therefore, I think it's really great. It has pretty good longevity to it. This one I would say is one of those like up to you. I think it's a beautiful foundation. If you don't need a foundation, you don't need this. You just don't. But it is pretty stunning. If you need a foundation and you want something that like has pretty good longevity but isn't as heavy as Charlotte Tilbury, this is your other option. This is chef's kiss, Mario. So, so well done. Look at this. Just beautiful. Okay, I don't have any concealers that I think are new to the market to you that I think is like incredible. I think Hourglass has an incredible formulation. Huda Beauty has an incredible formulation. Natasha Denona has probably the best one. There are so many, but kind of take your pick. I haven't tried Haus Labs. I haven't tried Tower 28. I don't like Kosas. I'll give you that. I hate the Kosas concealer. It creases like nobody's business under my eyes. But I have two things I do want to tell you about. So these are the Olehenriksen Banana Bright Vitamin CC sticks, and these you put under your eyes. They're sort of like a color corrector and a skincare ingredient in one. I have the banana one, and then I also have the peach one here. These are really great because when you blend them out, you actually don't even notice that you have them on your skin. So they're great for no makeup days, but you really need some dark circle help. These are great for those. And also, they lay really well under makeup. So actually, these are a pretty good pickup. I don't have a ton from the drugstore that are comparable to this in terms of the amount of skincare ingredients that you get in it. Vitamin C is very hard to formulate. These feel really buttery and very luxe. The Catrice Under Eye Brightener is a good sort of like shade match almost to this one, but you're getting a lot more benefits in this one. So if you kind of wanted that no makeup look, these are pretty good. Okay, but for contour this year, I've got several that I either recommend or don't recommend. It's probably going to be some unpopular opinions, but here we go. So the first one I have is the Natasha Denona. This is the Hysculpt Liquid Bronzer. This is very pigmented. I highly suggest you don't use a full pump. You use just a little bit that you can get out right here. Because, are you kidding me? It was like, you will use a full pump and you will waste me, fight me. This is basically a full coverage beat in a bronzer. This is very pigmented. And so that's why I'm saying a little goes a long way. It's nice. As you can see, it's a really beautiful color. It feels very hydrating, just sort of like her High Glam line. I don't have a lot of negative things to say about it, except that it's not the easiest to work with because it's so pigmented. So I think if that's your vibe, then it looks really nice. But especially when it comes to contour and bronzer, I think people really prefer theirs to be really workable. And this is just not one of those things that I think I'm just going to be like, you have to spend all this money on this product. I enjoy using it because I like pigmented things. But for the mass population out there, I'm not going to be like, yeah, you need this. You don't. So this one I'm de-influencing you on. It's a very nice product. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a need. The next one is the Haus Labs. This is the Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm. These could not be creamier and more easy to use. They come in beautiful shades. This one is sort of the more bronzier color, or you can get some that are really just more of like an actual true gray contour. These blend out so nicely. They really are incredible. You do get kind of a small amount of product with them. I think they're really nice. I think if you don't have a stick bronzer yet and you'd really like some, again, perfectly fine. There's not a lot of bad formulas out there right now. I think the packaging is really cute. And I think it's nice that she came out with some really unique contour shades. If you need like a true contour shade, then I think this is worth picking up. But as something to just add in one of your like bronzer contour sticks that you have many of, I don't think you need this. You know, I think if you've got the Rare Beauty one, if you got the LYS one, If you've got the Morphe one that I freaking love, you don't need this. So I'm just going to throw those 2 cents in there. I'm de-influencing you on the Haus Labs. I'm trying to be so harsh, guys. I don't want to influence you on everything I have because I gotta tell you, most makeup I will use, you will see again, I love and I will make it work for me. I'm trying to keep it really strict, but really I like all my own products because I bought them. So I hope I'm doing okay. These next two, if you don't have them, you gotta have them. I don't know how else to tell you. I'm being a friend. The first one I gotta recommend to you. This is the Makeup by Mario, his light medium soft sculpt bronzing and shaping serum. I just gotta tell you, anything that is Makeup by Mario that is a bronzer contour cream product, A plus plus plus, 100 out of 10. He knows what he is doing when it comes to sculpting and shaping beautiful faces like he originally did with Kim Kardashian. So this product is awesome. This comes with a pump in case you want to use it like that. Pump it on the back of your hand and use it and pick it up with a brush. Or if you want to apply it directly to the face, it also has a really awesome doe foot applicator, and that's the way I use it. What makes this product so incredible is it has the most natural, warm yet contoury kind of color. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, so it looks like skin. But look how easily this blends out. This either can be used to mix in your foundation, under your foundation, or on top, which is the way I use it most of the time. This is so beautiful because it's not as hard to work with. You can see when I blended out the other two how incredibly pigmented they were. This is going to give you either nothing, just a whisper of warmth, or you can build it up. And that's what I think is so great about it. And the same talking points goes for how much I love the Rare Beauty liquid contour. I've got mine in the shade Mellow. Again, something that I was shocked by how easily this blends out. This is so beautiful. The colors are stunning. I mean, look at this. This just looks like goodness. I mean, these two are such a pleasure to work with because it really does just enhance your skin and make it look so much better. You just really don't have to worry about overplaying with them. So they're really good for beginners and for people that just know how to put on a full beat. And your makeup's going to look flawless anyway because their finish is. So those two I highly recommend. This didn't come out in 2025, but I just want to tell you the Saie Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. I've got the shade Light Bronze. I use this quite a bit because I like how much a cream bronzer will actually keep my makeup on. But I just got to say, like, this is just not the best one out there. It's just not. And you really don't need it. So for anybody that's like, oh my God, I'm just dying over the... Mm-mm. It's okay. Again, I suggest the Milani one. It's better bang for your buck. What is incredible, if you are like me and you just love makeup and you love to just collect and you love the nuances of it, you love the artistry of it, the Mary Phillips MPH contour palette, I have mine in the shade Light. The creams are incredible in here. I mean, they blend out like absolutely no one's business. They also can sit on the skin while you finish all the rest of your makeup and they will not dry out. They are so beautiful because they have such good lasting power. And this blends out easier, honestly, than the Rare Beauty that I just did. I'm putting less pressure in my finger than I am with this. They've got such good coverage while blending out like fairy dust. I don't know how she did it, but that is my favorite cream formulation I think of all time so far. It is so well worth it. It's such a beautiful palette for travel. You can do an entire face with it. I 100% recommend that. That is a unique, stunning product. She nailed it. I am so afraid I might get canceled for this next one, but I'm just going to say it. I just have to because I just have to. I got to be honest with you. You're my friends, and I would say this to my friend or my family. I picked up the Hung Van Gogh Soft Blurring Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Straightforward. This is very nice. It does not cause me any problems. It doesn't wow me. I'm just going to say that. It does not like I mean, I don't get like joy when I use it. Does that make any sense? Now, I will say, if you struggle with powder bronzers being too powdery, you go to put it on and you're like, oh my gosh, I just put on too much. I can't blend it out. Somebody help me. This is actually going to be really good for you. There's nothing wrong with this. It does not patch. It goes on very smooth. It does not have any sort of shimmer in it. It does not have a completely Sahara Desert matte dry down. I think with his particular line, if you are a minimalist in makeup but you want quality, not quantity in your makeup, check out his line because every product performs like that type of girl. I am a maximalist. So for my personal taste, this is perfectly good. I love the pan size. I love the packaging. The product is actually really great, especially if you're a little scared of bronzer because you need to build it up. I just like something with a little more impact. That's just me personally. So that's my 2 cents on that. Take your pick. But it just isn't like the be all and end all that everybody is saying online, in my personal opinion. So if I can save you a couple bucks there, I'm going to. But seriously, in this whole video, take what I'm saying into account and not just what I approve and what I don't approve, because you might 100% love that a bronzer is blurring, not patchy, and not that pigmented so that it does not overwhelm your face. That might be exactly what you're looking for. That's that product. He's a good guy for that reason. When I suggest some of the blushes, it might be a finish that you're like, ew, I am so not into that, and I might love it. So absolutely listen to what I am saying, and if that fits for you, then congrats. Okay, speaking of blush, because it is 2025 and it is the year of blush, we are getting into quite a few launches. I'm just going to speed through this really quickly. Rhode is at Sephora. Rhode's pocket blushes have been viral for a long time, but it's worth mentioning in case you haven't tried one yet. They're as good as everyone says. They are beautifully pigmented. They look incredible on the lips as well. They are a buttery, creamy, blendable formula. Do they last the longest ever? No, but that's kind of the whole tea with all of Hailey Bieber's products, is they're kind of like there for a good time, not a long time, but they really are a good time. They are so stunning. Definitely recommend checking those out. These came out very early on, and I just wanted to sort of retouch on them now that I've had a year to play with them. These I'm going to de-influence you on, and I love everything that is Hourglass. Ever, I am their biggest fan. If you ask me what's one brand that just never does you wrong, it's Hourglass. So are these pretty? Yes. Do I like it when I do use them on my cheeks? Yes. But you see, the applicator is like not great. They've separated, they're really watery, so they tend to sort of pick up the foundation. Now, when you swatch this, you might be like, which is how I was in store, but that's on bare skin. When you put them over foundation, depending on the product underneath, they can kind of pick up the foundation because of how watery they are, especially if I haven't done a good job at mixing them. They come in some very pretty, unique colors. They're pretty. It's hard to make a blush that I don't like. It really is. But are they worth Hourglass price points? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say get something else, save your money, even on sale. Unless you really just love the idea of that. I just think there are other ones that I love even more, and I'm just trying to save you some bucks. But who knows? You might like a watery formula. You might wear way less makeup than I do. So they're beautiful if that's like the one you're going to get. Next, I want to talk about these Too Faced Cloud Crush Whipped Lip and Cheek. I love this formula. Not only do I think it's not like $45, I think this is 100% worth it because you probably don't have something like this in your arsenal. They are a beautiful, like Korean inspired whipped formula. And this is going to be amazing for anybody that has acne on their cheeks. You do have to work kind of quickly with them, but they come in these really beautiful, natural, easy to work with colors, and they smell incredible, like everything Too Faced, and I think they are really fun. I love the packaging. Again, another Too Faced strength, but I think they're so well worth it. If you can find one color that you love, I've got the colors Headliner, and the one I just swatched is Bed of Roses, which is like a really beautiful mauve. If you like that beautiful whipped cheek kind of look, I totally think you should go and pick one up. Last, for the liquid cream blush category, I have got the ABH. This is the Magic Touch Blush Trio, and I have mine in the shade Pink. If you find that one of these trios, they have a few that are darker. They have a peach one and then like a darker one. Out of nowhere in this world did I ever expect that this was going to be my favorite blush formula of 2025. I showcased this in one of my last videos where I picked up a lot of new things from Sephora to try. And in that video, you can just see how freaking beautiful this formula is. It is pigmented. This is for the girls that like a very pigmented blush. But for it being very pigmented, man, it blends out like a dream and it does not patch. And it doesn't patch better than almost any other cream that I have tried, which for how pigmented it is, I think makes it really easy to work with. And I mix my shades of everything all the time. So this mixing kind of melting pot is definitely up my alley. And you can get a really custom shade with these. I'm thinking about picking up another one. So I love this. The last formula I'm going to say, this is the Haus Labs Glassy Ginger. I see these all over TikTok. These really are a stunning formula. They're really beautiful. They're very glassy. If you like, again, a thinner formula, they've got some beautiful colors. Some more natural ones. They came out with some bronzers this year, and they also have like some really poppy, peachy, punchy ones. These are a very nice formula. Again, if you like something a little more like glass skin, clean girl vibe, this is going to be for you. Otherwise, I'm going to de-influence you on it because the wear time of products like that are just not as long. I love the color of this one, but these are just not the cream blushes that I reach for constantly, and they tend in this form to pick up the foundation. They don't pick up super easily on a brush. So I just want you to know that just because TikTok is talking about it a lot doesn't mean they're like the best formula. They're certainly not my favorite. They're not bad. Again, like I said, I really like all of my makeup products that I have bought. They all serve a purpose. This just isn't the best of the best. And I am trying to tell you the best of the best. We are not needing a makeup collection the size of mine. Okay, for the powder blush category, I'm going to go over the viral launches of 2025, some recent ones as well, pretty quickly because I know you've seen these, but I just want to mention my thoughts. For powder blush, my favorite one is the Kosas powder blushes. This is in the shade Thrill. These are a stunning kind of just shimmery, beautifully pigmented, not patchy formula. It just really catches the light in such a nice, beautiful way. Very much like an Hourglass blush. It looks like your cheeks are just alive, but you don't have glitter all over your cheeks. They're my favorite formula, hands down. They just give such depth and dimension because they're a baked formula. I use those blushes when my cream blush or my other blush underneath has gone patchy and I need to fix it. That's exactly what I reach for. Those are the Hourglass blushes I reach to fix my other blushes. So I highly recommend those. I love them so much. They are so well worth it. The next blush I'm actually going to say is stunning. This is the Saie Super Suede Radiant Blush Powder, and this is in the shade Mia. And I'm specifically going to mention this shade because yes, I think the whole line is great, but really you don't need all of them. And I think if you're going to pick up one, the reason I like this one is I think this color, this like beautiful rosy mauve, for some reason, even with like a hint of purple in it, is so unique. I don't have anything else that is a color that looks like this color. It is beautiful and definitely something that is like an everyday color or an event. You just want to go on like a flirty date because you look pretty. It's just so pretty. I love that blush, specifically in that color. I do think if you don't have it, you would love it. It is well worth picking up. One that I am like so. This kind of falls under the same Hung Van Gogh category. This is the new Ilia Soft Focus Blurring Blush, and I have mine in the shade Sensation. This is really stunning. Again, I love a baked formula because I love the dimension a baked formula gives you. Look how pretty that is. It is very nice. It really isn't as pigmented as it looks though. And again, that might be a great thing for you. So you can really build this up. It's not going to be the most intense blush ever. And they're really nice for blush toppers, but I do have to work a lot with them to get the pigment up if I'm just using them on their own. So they're not my most reached for. I'm just going to say that. So if you want to save your money somewhere, I don't think these are be all end all. I really like the Kosas better for a similar effect, or that one shade Mia. And I just think those are easier to work with. But this is really nice if you want barely there. But when that happens, I'm sort of like, why are you spending all this money if nobody's going to see it? That's kind of how I feel. My cat, he's found something in the closet. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm trying to save you some 2 cents. So this is just not one of my favorite pickups of 2025. Another one that I think I picked up, this is the Dior Backstage, and this is the color Rosy Glow. I picked this up because I thought the color was really unique. This is such a gorgeous, like, your skin, but it's a little bit flush. It's not like Barbie pink. And I think everybody needs a good shade like that. These are really beautiful blushes. This is the new formula that is a lot more pigmented. It's much more suede. It does have a little bit of like reflect shift in it, and it is really nice. I wear these all the time. I love the Dior blushes. I do think that on the cheeks, it is this weird like lit from within kind of glowy thing. If I had to choose between the two, and I have higher end blushes I like better. Hello. I'm going to de-influence you from spending so much money on this. If you're going to go for a high-end blush, the Gucci blushes are beautiful and the YSL blushes are my favorite formulas in a high-end formula. Even MAC or drugstore options that I think might be better than like spending $45 on this. So it's nice though. It should be. One formula that I think is so unique, so well worth it, so beautiful. I've raved about this so many times. This is the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blushes. These again are like inspired by a Korean formula. They're a little bit of like a putty. And that means that, man, they are blurring to high heaven. These are beautiful because, and you really can't go wrong with these. They're again another one of those formulas that I use to correct blushes that patch on me. If I'm having a bad blush day, I will reach for one of these. I love that they go incredible over powder and under powder as well. You can almost use these as a cream, or you can put these over powder. And I think that makes them so versatile, so well worth it. I love the packaging. It's just nice and sleek and compact. You can see the colors really well. Rare Beauty never really breaks the bank when it comes to Sephora. And I totally think these are well worth it because if you don't have these already, you probably don't have something like this. Okay, now another blush that everybody really wants. This has already sold out at Sephora before the sale and they've restocked it and it's sold out again and they've restocked it. So I'm hoping it's going to come back in stock one more time. But this is the beautiful YSL palette. This is their Couture Face palette and it's got 3 blushes and 3 highlighters in it. Look at this packaging too, by the way. Stunning. You can tell by how much I'm smiling that I love this. I love this. This is so gorgeous because it is personally my favorite formula in the YSL line. I love the blushes and I love the highlighters. They are very, you almost have to, as you can see, I've kind of like scratched the surface of them to kind of get that top coat off. And then they are really emollient, even though they feel kind of dry at first. They are a little chunky, glittery. They're the most like sophisticated looking chunky glitter on the cheeks that I've ever used, but I'm just going to forewarn you, they are not some ethereal hourglass kind of, they're like there. And I think it's really beautiful, but if that's like super not your vibe, then I totally understand. This retails for $86, I think, or $82. And each one of these blushes is $45 on their own. And you get 6 products and you get a beautiful package with it. I think it's great for travel. Look at this. This is just a beautiful bronze color. I just think this goes on so nicely. These 2 formulas are just some of my favorite formulas personally. So if you were thinking about, I'm debating about 2 colors in the YSL blush, or I could just get that palette. I just think that is just worth mentioning. It's really well worth it. And if you can get it on sale, even better. I just think it's actually like a really special formula because I really want to mention another one that is super viral that I don't think is worth it. I literally can't believe I'm saying this, but Hourglass, like I said, I love so much. They came out with their new 6 pans this year. They come out every year. I love them. I think they are beautiful. They are wonderful if you're a collector person, if you travel a lot. That's what I've used mine for. I've had mine for about 6 years. This is one of their really old ones. Look at this. This thing has come with me on every single thing that I've traveled. I used it when I was a performer for Disney, living on a cruise ship. This has just been with me through thick and thin, and they are stunning. I've used this for weddings. You get the gist. I love them. However, when I bought this, this was $60. And I thought, my God. But also, that means that I was getting Hourglass blushes for like 10 bucks each. And then they went up to 80. And I was like, it's still worth it to me. Now it's $94, like $100 with tax. No, I just got to say, no, I just don't think, $100 for this. I love this more than life. It's my baby. But now that I have it, if you have one of these, don't go out and buy it. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. I'm really trying to save you like $90 and say, look, if you've got one, pull it off on your collectors on the inside of you. Can you, I'm trying to speak right now. Hold off inside of you and just, we don't need to spend $100 on something we already have. We just don't. So that's for you and me. Okay, some highlighters that I think are really beautiful and one that I don't think. This is the Fenty Beauty. Look how cool this packaging is. This is the Demi Glow. This is one of their best formulas, period. But I really gotta say, just like the Rare Beauty highlighter, this one is my other favorite. It looks like this. They break so easily. And unfortunately, when I know that a product breaks really easily, I probably know it's going to be my favorite because that's everything that is my favorite. If you haven't felt this formula in person, I feel for you. You really should. You should just go to the store and check it out. This is what I mean when I say like the highlighter isn't chunky glittery. It is just like wet skin with powder perfection, and that's kind of the way it feels. The glitters in it, as you can see, are just so fine and really is meant to just catch the light in the most beautiful way. I do think these are one of the best highlighter formulations to come out in a long time. They break really easily though, so no one's perfect. But comparatively, the other one I like, this is the Benefit Glow Lala highlighter, and I have mine in the shade Rhea. This is what I've been using the most out of 2025 out of any other formula, period, because I know everybody was like, oh, the packaging is plastic, and it is. It's kind of cheap packaging. However, but the formula is, I mean, you can just see it is like this beautiful, look at this. I mean, that is just, it's a beam of light. So swatch next to the other one for comparison. Look at that. This gives you so much more of like a ethereal angel look, and this is just like you are highlighted to the gods, as we used to say in 2016. So these are so beautiful, and I wanted to kind of show you the comparison, but I'm telling you, I've been using this one more because of its plastic packaging. Because of that, it's so solid in here, it's not going to break. So I actually really love that about that. So those are my 2 cents on those. I totally think these are so well worth it. I can't stop staring at my hand. But if you're going to travel a lot in your life and you want one that doesn't break, go with the Benefit. Okay, we're in eyeshadow zone, specifically sparkly eyeshadow toppers and one and done eyeshadows. That has been a thing this year, and I am here for it. If you don't know, I am a maximalist. I'm a more is more kind of person. I am a glitter person. Okay? That's why I got into this whole thing in the first place. The glitterier, in my opinion, the better, the more well worth it. So with that said, hear me out about these products. The first one I really want to mention very quickly, this didn't come out in 2025, but I'm just going to say, if you are hearing everybody and their mother scream about this is the very viral Urban Decay Space Cowboy Moon Dust eyeshadow, I find these incredibly dry. If you want something that's like, yeah, it's there. I mean, it's there. They were one of the first to do this like kind of see-through scattered glitter effect. It is very pretty. It is. But I have to work with it about 20 times over to get it to show up on my eyeballs. The reason I love so many pigmented in your face things is because on my face, it's very difficult to get these things to show up. So this is one of them. It's exhausting for me personally to work with. So if you're like me, you have dry skin, your face eats pigment, I would de-influence you on this one. One that came out this year that I really do not think has gotten enough hype, and I have said this over and over and over again, this might be my favorite eyeshadow formulation in a single period to come out ever. This is the Too Faced Disco Crush eyeshadow, and I'm just showing you the shade Show Off. Look at this. I get compliments every single time I wear these. This is what I want when I want a glitter shadow. Ugh. So you can see by comparison, this might be 100% up your alley. It is very classy. It is model's day off. This is like, but I've paid all this money for it. I want you to see it. That's kind of my attitude. So this I love. They are very pricey though, like too pricey. They're too pricey. So if you can get them on sale, that's why I'm recommending them. Now, the queen of scattered glitters, Fenty, came out with these beautiful eyeshadow sticks in How Many Carats, and let's just swatch this right next to the Urban Decay so that we can kind of see the difference. This is in the color Champion O2, and it's sort of like the same color like glitter. So these, if you're looking for a beautiful glitter shadow stick, you cannot go wrong with these. I can't stop staring at my hands. They wear really well. You still can work with them and blend them out, and they're going to be gorgeous. I absolutely love these. This is like what I wanted Urban Decay to sort of look like in my head, and that's why I'm recommending them. I have to tell you, in this category, there's not a lot of glitters I have met that I don't like. So there was the Urban Decay one, and then the rest I think are fabulous. Okay, I want on my wish list some of the new Patrick Ta eyeshadows. So if you like something like that, then I think these are really gorgeous. Again, look how stunning this is. This is his shade We Need Better Lighting. And again, it's going to be just your beautiful scattered glitter. This is truly a stunning eyeshadow topper, especially if you are looking for something where you only have mattes in your collection. You want one small matte palette and one small one and done eyeshadow that's just going to make you look incredible. That's kind of what these are for. And so I do think they're really beautiful because they really are unique. I would hate for you to spend full price on one if you really wanted one. So they are lovely. I love them. I don't regret it, but you know, I get it. These are all so pricey for a one and done eyeshadow. Look at this. This is what we've got going so far. It's my favorite looking hand. Now, another one that just blew me out of the water. I 100% think these are so well worth it. Probably my favorite in the lineup of 2025 for sure. This is the new Danessa Myricks Metallics Color Fix Sticks. Not only is her packaging always incredible, I got so excited. So the middle is here, and then you actually get two different finishes and you can mix and match them. So they're magnetic and they magnet to the inside. So she has one that's more of like an actual foiled glitter, and then the other one is a metallic. These feel so lovely on the eyes. They blend out so nicely. So this one here is her metallic shade, and this one is like a beautiful bronze, but let me show you this glitter because you're going to lose it. In shadow stick form, this is freaking stunning. Look at that. So beautiful. On the eyes, it looks even better too. I have the color Nova, but if you find a color in there that you like, definitely get it. This one is like, I would suggest just getting one. I think they kind of look similar enough that you can get away with that. And you can get an entire eye look with just one of these. So that's lovely. Okay, the last one I'm going to talk about that went super viral in 2025. This is the one and done eyeshadow from Armani. I've featured this so many times on my Instagram and my TikTok. This is just the OG of like a beautiful shadow that just blends out to absolute perfection. It is so gorgeous. It's got this beautiful natural undertone while keeping it still warm. And I love these, but I've got to show you how beautiful the shimmers are. So when talking about one and done glitter eyeshadows, look at this. And I think nobody is talking about this. I really just want to like point you in the direction of, yeah, yeah, they're so good. So good. This is the color 67S. It is stunning. I cannot recommend those more. They are my favorites. I have not tried the Makeup by Mario ones. They are next to my list. I'm sure they're lovely, but these will always be like the it for me. I love those, and those two are my favorite shades. That's your eye right there. That's the whole eye. You got it. You got it done. Moving on to eyeshadow palettes, I've only got a few to talk about, but they are so good this year. So really quickly, I just wanted to mention that I think this is still up on the website because I just checked. I apologize if the lighting is getting a little darker because the sun is setting, but we're still rolling. So Huda Beauty came out with what is apparently her last large eyeshadow palette. This is the Icy Nude. This went so mega viral last year. It was all I saw over my Instagram and my TikTok, but I think this is one of my favorite palettes she's ever done. This is just so, so stunning. The colors in here are absolutely beautiful for any time of year. It could be a spring palette, it could be a winter palette. I have loved every second with this. And so if any of those colors seem to be up your alley, I do think this is well worth it. And I think it's still on the website. So I just wanted to mention that before it goes out completely. Okay, next, the also mega viral, very controversial Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature Palette. I've got a whole review on this. If you want to go check that out, I will link it down below. But frankly, this is for your gal that loves the Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow palette. This is for the girl that doesn't want that disco crush eyeshadow look. You just want something ethereal, classy, old money, beautiful. This is going to be it. The colors in here are stunning. The mattes could not be easier to work with. But But the shimmers in here are so beautiful because really when they get on their eye, let me see if I can kind of swatch this right here. Yes, they're not as chunky glittery as everything else, but they really do just catch the light so nicely. When they're not in the light, they kind of look like a regular shadow. And then in the light, they really are so beautiful. So I actually think that this is such a stunning, stunning palette. You can see that color right here is the Makeup by Mario. And that's just my cat. Seriously? That's just what ethereal means to me, is it's so sophisticated yet fun. You still get a really beautiful glittery eye look. And I love the color story. It's like he made the color story for me with this. So I absolutely think this is well worth it. It's a pretty good size. You get a really lovely mirror. Definitely pick it up on sale. Hi, look who's come to actually bother us. Okay, bye-bye. Lastly, this should come as no shock to you, but this is a stunning palette. This is the Danessa Myricks Lightworks Volume 7 palette. And again, I did a whole dedicated review on this. I can show you how unique the packaging is. Everything about this packaging is magnetic, it's customizable, it's individual. You can take all of these out. These are some of the most insane shifting colors you will ever find. I mean, just look at some of these. I'm going to try to do these justice, but this is something unique. Now, is this palette for everyone? No, that's where I would say really just use your best judgment, but look at the way these swatch. I mean, so gorgeous. This is something for that really intense makeup lover in your life as a gift, or for you if you're really just a collector, because what I think is really unique about this palette is she has some really beautiful matte shades in here that really do make it a little more everyday, a little more wearable. And I think this is so stunning. It is limited edition and it's pricey. So if you can get a discount on it, I definitely think is so well worth it, because I guarantee you, if you're like a mainstream kind of person, or even if not, you don't have anything in your collection like this. If you're not afraid of color, I highly suggest you check that out because you will not regret it. Okay, I only have a couple of mascaras to walk you through today. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Tarte XL Tubing Mascara. This is pretty great if you like a tubing mascara. If you are a really OG makeup girl and you remember Thrive Cosmetics, which they still make, and I still really like that mascara. This is like Thrive Cosmetics and Sephora. That's essentially what it is. It's a very thick tubing mascara, but it does what it says. It's going to give you really thick, long lashes. And so if that's your vibe, I think this is a really good one. I really enjoy this tubing mascara. It doesn't weigh down my lashes. Both of my cats are just determined to interrupt me this whole video. I apologize. I actually think that that one is a really good one to pick up, but my favorite, if you're going to go for a tubing mascara, is the Too Faced Ribbon Wrapped Lash. This came out right for the spring Sephora sale in 2025. What makes this so unique, I think, is because it is the lightest weight tubing mascara that I have ever used. It keeps your lashes up and curled and separated better than any other one, because tubing mascaras can tend to get really thick because of those tubing fibers. This somehow keeps all of your lashes so fluttery, they feel really lightweight, and it gives you insane length. Not the thickest, obviously, but the length is crazy on this one and it's really comfortable. So this is my top pick for sure. And then lastly, Makeup by Mario finally came out with his own Master Mattes Mascara in a black and a brown. The brown he just came out with just a few weeks ago. I'm going to de-influence you on this. I like it. It's a dry formula. It makes your lashes really voluminous, really long. But oh, if you're gonna wear that mascara for an event and you're like, okay, it's gonna be on my eyes for 5 hours and then I'm gonna wash my face at the end of the night. It's a good mascara. But do you need that? Do you need to pay that much for it? No, because the flaking on this, it's not great. It's not the worst by any means. Ooh, I wore one the other day that I was like, I'm gonna rip out my eyeballs. But it's not the greatest, and you're paying a lot for a mascara, and I'm a drugstore mascara girl mostly, so it's not necessary. I like it. It's good for a while. Okay, we are almost done. Bear with me. We've got lips and setting sprays. So I've only got a few lips to mention, and I think a couple of them that are really unique this year and that are totally worth it. I'm just going to glaze through. If you've not tried the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs, they have one in a regular formula and one in a glitter formula. These are so beautiful. They are so comfortable. They really are like a gloss in a lipstick bullet form. So their packaging is so much fun. Their colors are so lovely. They have like this nudie, balmy kind of consistency here. And then the glitter one is one of the most comfortable glitter formulas because the glitter is not chunky and feels gritty on your lips at all. Look at that. How could you not like that? It's lovely. So I do think these are really unique and certainly worth a pickup for sure. I've completely enjoyed them and gotten so much use out of them. I'm going to de-influence you on her lip oil. I just think it's like, it's a lip oil. It's pretty, but these are really my favorite. Okay, and then this was a late pickup for me, but Charlotte Tilbury this year released her Unreal Lips Healthy Glow Nectar Oil, and this one is the pH one. Whoa, do I love this. They have a really intense fragrance. I love fragrance, but if you don't, these are not it for you. But if you do, these could not be more comfortable. This is the first pH formula too that I have seen that doesn't turn insanely like this color pink. It's really just like a nice rosy, more muted pink, but really and truly, it's the comfortability of these for me. These are so comfortable. They're not too thick, they're not too thin, they're not sticky at all. At this point, we need to evict the cats, don't we? But if you're lost in the world of glossy balms and you want a new one, or you're kind of over your summer Fridays or whatever the case, out of all of them, these are lovely. It's just one of those things that I'm like, yeah, can you get something like this at the drugstore? Yes, but I love the experience of this. These are so cute. They smell so good. And I really just love the formulation. It feels so comfortable on the lips. My lips actually do feel hydrated after I've left those on too, which is another really good thing. It's what it's supposed to do. Okay, lastly, it was the year of setting sprays for 2025. So I'm going to quickly go through all the viral ones I've got here and tell you I've got a few of them that are really good and a few of them that are not. The first one, everything Huda does goes super viral. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Spray. I think this was a really good idea. I've used up a fair bit of it. She had sort of trouble with the packaging. This is supposed to have like her Easy Bake powder infused into this. A really great idea. The execution was not great because the nozzle kept getting stuck. You know, like I'm trying to press on it and then it doesn't really. So that's kind of a packaging issue that unfortunately makes the product not great, because then the sprayer comes out and it leaves the water droplets on your face that kind of ruins your makeup. And when you can get the sprayer to work, this is fine, but you shouldn't have to work so hard. So I'm going to say pass on this. The next one that had its viral moment in 2025 is the Kosas Cloud Set Airy Setting and Smoothing Mist. This again is very okay. The mister on this is lovely. It is so nice and so airy. The reason I'm going to de-influence you on it is, number one, I just don't want you to spend your money on everything that's just like, it's okay. It's got some talking points and it's really nice. It's supposed to have like skincare in it. I just don't think it sets my makeup. You know what I mean? So like you're paying for like a really nice mister and that's really nice, but I don't think it like does like a whole ton enough to spend a Sephora price tag on it. So I'm just going to say it's okay. It's not a need. You can skip out on this one. Okay, my last three are, I think, my favorites in my setting spray arsenal. So get ready. So I'm just going to say, if you have not tried the One Size and you need to set your makeup, this is the One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray from somebody who's not sponsored, not on TikTok, not whatever. All the rumors are true. This is the best one. It is hairspray for your face, but yeah, it keeps it on. So this is good stuff. This is incredibly good stuff. And I'm obsessed with this. I will pick up another one probably to refill it. A very quick 2 cents on that, because I'm sure you've heard everybody else and their mother talk about it. But it is as good as they say. Another one that I think is one of my favorite setting sprays ever, because it is what I'm looking for dry skin. This is the One Size Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. This gives you glass skin. Does it help your makeup last? No. But wow, if you put on too much powder accidentally, oh my goodness, these will refresh your face and make your entire face look like skin, even if you're wearing like a heavy foundation. This is so beautiful looking if you like glass skin. This really does give it to you. It is what I think Pat McGrath was trying to do with her Sublime one, but this is so beautiful, especially for anybody with dry skin like me. 100%, I think you should try this. Lastly, Danessa Myricks came in clutch at the last minute here with an incredible innovative setting spray. This is the Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm Mattifying Setting Spray. Now, this one doesn't give like the most matte finish like I've ever seen. However, oh my goodness, this is the coolest thing ever. So it's got a little shaker ball in it. You shake it up. It's got her patented technology in it that really keeps your makeup on. And I have had so many people say that you could spray this in place of powder to keep your makeup on. I use powder every day because I've got a baby. People are touching my face all day long. but this actually makes my makeup last longer. The mister on it is so fine. It is so beautiful. It doesn't have a strong scent. It really does just make your skin look like skin and makes it last longer and has a blurring effect to it. It is so incredible. It's everything I think that the Huda Beauty one was like trying to be. It's gorgeous. I totally think it's unique. It is a unique setting spray and it works. So I 100% recommend it. All right, guys, that was my roundup speed review thoughts on all of the most viral makeup of 2025 that I think is either worth it or not for the Sephora sale. Mother of ginger. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I thought it would be really fun to go ahead and take up my wish list of what I'm thinking of picking up at the Sephora sale. So you guys can let me know before I do whether you want me to test out something. I'd be so happy to pick that up for you, or if you're not, hang on please. So you can tell me whether it's a good idea for me to pick it up, whether it's something you're interested in, and you can tell me what's on your wish list. I would love to know. I'm so excited for all of us. So let's get on into it. Okay, y'all, getting my hair back for this. So the first thing I'm looking at is I really want to try this beautiful Dior Forever Go Luminizer Highlighter. I've heard so many good things about them the first time around they launched, and this limited edition one I swatched in store and I was like sucked into it. So that one looks really beautiful. I'd really like to try that, not full price. I have really dry skin, so if I'm going to pick up anything from Rhode, it's going to be the Rhode Glazing Mist Hydrating Face Spray. I really, really liked it when I tested it out in store again. So that's something a little bit for me, but I think what Huda does so well is innovate, and I love the idea of the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder Brightening Correcting Duo. Based on all of her customers' feedback of what they were doing with her products already, I think that's something so interesting, and I've been so into color correction for this year. So I also really want to pick up a really good bronzer, and I'm not sure which to get. I'm in between the Givenchy and the Armani, so if you have one you would like me to test out more than the other, let me know. And I got a lot of requests to see what I think about the Summer Fridays blush balm. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a go as well as the Givenchy Prism Libre Blurring Color Correcting Matte Pressed Powder. This is supposed to be so much more like their original loose that got discontinued that we were all heartbroken over. So now there's not much in complexion that I really want to try out and pick up. I've always wanted to try the Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Smoothing Serum Skin Tint. I've also heard for dry skin that the Makeup Forever is really good. If you have any thoughts on the both of those, let me know. And then the gift sets are so popular every year. I thought I would try to grab a few just to get my hands on a few extra products I could test for you without spending full price money, and see if I really think that the gift sets are worth it. As well as I think the Refi Satin Liquid Lip Pens are going to be really viral as well. And the Gizu Honey Infused Hydrating Lip Oils, they have these really incredible flavors. And this Milky Mocha one smells so much like hot chocolate. It's so good. I love that formula. So that's like a little treat for myself. And then Glow Recipe came out with two brand new colors in their Niacinamide Dewy Flush line. And I never tried those last year when they first came out. So these colors look a little more up my alley. I'm thinking of picking up one of them. As well as the Patrick Ta Dimension Eye Illusion eyeshadow duos. People say that they're even glitterier this year than they are last year, which, as we've all discussed, that's up my alley. I've swatched them in store like 3 times. I'm in love. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna tell you how much I love them, and that's just gonna be that. I also, every time I go into a Sephora, I pick up Kerastase and I put their oils on the ends of my hair. And it's just one of those things that like I just really want them in my arsenal for my hair. I try to take such good care of my hair. My hair is really dead and really dry like my skin. So I love those. I'd love to get them on sale. So that's just kind of for me. But to anyone who's heard that they are so good, they are so good. So I love them. The Summer Fridays Holiday Trio. Now, what intrigued me about this set was not only that it has 2 limited edition balms in it, which it's an OG balm and it's basic, but it's my favorite formula. And I love that the balms come in hot cocoa and toasted marshmallow. But I have not tried the very viral sleep mask. And so that comes with this set as well. So I can try that out for you guys without getting a full size because I'm not a huge mask person, but everybody loves it so much. The Glossier Cloud Paint blushes are another one of those blurring whipped formulas that we're seeing kind of come on the market instead of like Pinkasm and all of these shiny blushes. So I wanted to pick up one color to try out for you guys. And then one of the ones I just feel like it's slept on is the Lawless Skin Smoothing Powder. If you guys say to the contrary, I don't have to pick that up, but I thought it'd be really interesting to go ahead and see. I also want to try to get the YSL Yves Saint Laurent Love Shine Plumping Lip Gloss Oil. I love them, and this limited edition packaging and shade is so stunning in person. So that is on my wish list, as well as Lawless Forget the Filler is my other favorite lip gloss. And these colors with Love Shack Fancy are so beautiful and so unique. They have like a lavender icy shade and then like a pinky shade, and they're stunning. And then I've heard so many good things about this Refi Lash Sculpt Lengthen and Lift mascara. Let me know if I don't need it, but I just thought I would give it a try. This Dior Addict Lip Maximizer has been all over socials for the holidays. It looks like a beautiful color for the holidays. So I'm thinking of picking that up. These are all just sort of maybes. In order to try for you guys, I wanted to try the Makeup by Mario Master Mats because I have not heard a single bad review of them. I'm sure they're stunning. I really like my Armani eye tints, and I really like, frankly, About Face at Ulta, which is like semi-drugstore, has some really great matte liquid eyeshadows that do the job, and I've been using my Morphe eyeshadow paints every day without fail. So I like my drugstore ones, so I wanted to get one in a very unique color that I could try out for you. So mauve looked really nice. And then I saw Painted by Spencer use the Sephora Collection Cream Satin Lip Stain in the color Always Red. I love a good red lip that does not go anywhere for Christmas. So with 30% off of that, I wanted to pick that up. And then one of the last things I wanted to pick up was everyone cannot stop raving about the YSL Lash Class Extreme Volume Mascara. I got to see what all the hype is about. I got to see it. And the One Size Patrick Star Boucle Silk Airbrush Talc-Free Finishing Powder. Woo, that's a tongue twister. So those are all the things that I'm thinking of picking up that really piqued my interest. Let me know what's on your wish list as well. I would love to know. And let me know if there's anything that I'm missing from my list that you want me to review for you, or you would like me to review instead. That is so helpful. And I would love to be able to do that for you guys. That's it for that. Okay, guys, that wraps up this video. I hope that was so helpful. I know that it's so overwhelming with everybody, especially on short form, just blasting everything in your face, and it's all the same products, and you're like, is everybody just giving the same talking points, or is this actually worth it? So I hope that my unbiased opinion could come in a little bit. I just really tried to explain and talk through the products so that if something doesn't work for me, maybe it works for you. Now, I have saved my top 10, my ride or die picks, no matter if they're viral, no matter if they came out this week or last 10 years. I have saved my absolute favorites list for another video coming up. It's going to be a shorter list, and it's just going to be that you're my bestie. I'm dragging you into Sephora and you need a new face of full makeup. This is the one product I would recommend for you. So that's coming up very soon. So if you have not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and like button. I would love to have you in my cozy corner of the internet. We all love to live life more beautifully around here. Yeah, right? So I'd love for you to join us, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Happy savings!